is good, everyone? What is good? Welcome back to another video. Today, we're jumping back into the Go Battle League arena, this time once again returning to the Singles Cup, featuring a super hot fire, spicy triple fire line. Now, right off the bat, I want to say this team is solely for entertainment and enjoyment purposes. Let's have a moment of honesty and self-reflection. I'm not sure if you're feeling the same way as me, but at this point in the GBL season, with Singles Cup having been here for almost 2 weeks now, things are starting to get a little bit monotonous. So to combat that monotony and to add some flair to our season, we're going to introduce a fun team like this. Is it competitive? Not at all. Is it a good time? 100%. And overall, just a takeaway from this video and the message that I want to send is, yes, winning is great. Yes, we want to make a push for legend, but don't burn yourself out. Don't jeopardize your mental health to do so. Take breaks, even if that means putting the game down altogether, or if that means breaking everything up with a fun meme team like the one we're featuring today. So without further ado, let's go ahead and hop straight into some battles and see how this triple fire full spice team will fare for us in the Singles Cup. Getting into the first battle of our admittedly shorter video today, we have our Shadow Kanto Ninetales on the lead against the opponent's Shadow Grimer. Grimer's going to be able to reach their charge move first, firing off this Mud Bomb, and Mud Bomb is terrible for my entire team. I actually ran this line after I was running a different line that I'll be featuring in a later video, but I did not see any Shadow Grimers the entire 3 sets I was running a different team. The minute I hop into this team, Shadow Grimer, which obviously does have access to super effective Mud Bomb. We've gotten the Grimer extremely low, and now all shields will be down for both opponents. We're going to go for the aggressive Incinerate down, but we're unable to get there. The opponent had generated so much energy with their Shadow Grimer, and Mud Bomb, bang, puts our Rapidash extremely low. And I apparently hopped into these matches before double moving my Shadow Arcanine. What an absolute travesty. It's okay, I suppose, because we would have not been able to KO that Ninetales regardless. Is that a bit of copium? Potentially, as we do get overheated. Bang! Opponent able to gain the KO on us and call game. Well played by the opponent. Hopping into the next battle, we have Umbreon on the lead against our Shadow Kanto Ninetales. This is a pretty good matchup for us. This is actually exactly where we want to see this Umbreon, as they will be firing off their first charge move, that being the Foul Play. Ninetales is now at 100 energy, and we will be firing off this first Weather Ball, grabbing the opponent's shield. And we will be able to survive this Foul Play, so I'm going to no shield, try and build up to the overheat. We are able to throw one final Fire Spin, get to the overheat, which will do massive damage onto the opponent. Umbreon is now in farm down range. I bring in the Shadow Arcanine because we're going to be able to get more energy due to the resisted snarls that we have on the fast move. Opponent pivots into, I didn't see the Pokemon, but we're going to be firing off this Crunch regardless, and it will be the Donphan. Donphan dealing heavy counter damage onto our Shadow Arcanine, the original pseudo legendary. We're going to pivot out immediately into our Rapidash, and bang, Incinerate destroys the opponent's Donphan. However, we are confronted by a Hypno in the back. We have no choice but to throw this Flame Charge. Opponent still does have one shield to their name. They're going to choose to not expend it, but they are now at the charge move. Will this be the Shadow Ball? No, it's the Psychic. And the opponent calls game with their Shadow Hypno. Well played by them. We got close. We got close. Here we have my least favorite Pokemon to combat with the opponent's Viper. They're going to pivot immediately into their Primeape, and that's okay for me. We're going to stay in here. The opponent fires off the Night Slash, and they get the boost with their attack stat now raised by 2 stages. What an absolute nightmare for you, boy. We're going to pivot into our Rapidash to avoid getting countered down on our canine. We're forced to expend one shield. Will we be forced to expend a second? We are, as the opponent has now nearly countered down our flame horse. We're now 2 shields down. What a nightmare scenario. We do have energy on Rapidash, so if there's any silver lining here, it will be that we will be able to fire off this drill run into the opponent's Umbreon. It was the Umbreon. I was anticipating it being the snake, but they do pivot back into their Seviper. Seviper choosing to block that heavy damage from the drill run, which almost definitely would have O-code, but now our Shadow Arcanine will be confronted by the opponent's Poison Snake. Poison Fang does heavy neutral damage. All of these Pokemon are so glassy. Crunch not able to KO. We swap out into our Ninetales. We're going for the overheat, but we are unable to get there as the opponent snarls us down, calls game. Well played by them. Thank you for the match. Hopping into the next battle, we have a favorable lead. We finally see a fairy Pokemon on the lead. All 3 of our Pokemon will be resisting Charm, so that's exactly what we want to see. Opponent immediately pivoting into their Vigoroth, and we're going to stay in with our Shadow Canine. And if we're being honest here, Shadow Kanto Ninetales is our most flexible Pokemon. It also is just overall the best, as it does have the best stats, and it charges up to its charge moves quickly. So in default situations like this, I'm just going to choose to stay in with our K9. As we do pivot into our Rapidash, Rapidash has successfully farmed, incinerated down the Vigoroth, and we can now throw, we're just about at the back-to-back drill runs, which will do heavy, super effective damage onto the opponent. We do reach a second drill run. Will the opponent respect this damage with their shield? They do. We now have all shields down from the opponent, and we do not have to respect this Weather Ball damage, as we will be able to survive pivoting into our Arcanine. Will we respect this damage from the opponent? Yes, we do. It's just the Weather Ball. My counting was admittedly horrendous there, as we do reach the crunch. How much damage will this crunch do to the opponent? Not enough to one-shot, as they will be able to reach the overheat, but we throw on CMP tie. Our Shadow Arcanine, very attack weighted, gets the KO onto the opponent's K9, and we now are confronted by the opponent's Charmer that they had on the lead. Will Wild Charge be able to KO? Bang! Wild Charge one-shots the opponent's Shadow Gramble as we finally get to call game. Well played by the opponent. Thank you for the match. And thank you to all of my opponents today for allowing me to feature this spicy triple fire line against them. I did face some really good battlers today, and unfortunately that contributed to a decent amount of losses with this team, but we were able to get one win there, which I was extremely happy about. And honestly, that's going to be my takeaway from this video. Did we win all of our battles? Definitely not. Did we essentially lose all of our battles? Pretty much yes, but I had a really good time. I actually got to use Shadow Arcanine for the very first time. Would I advocate for blowing all your dust on very niche, non-meta Pokemon? It depends what your dust situation is, but in neutral scenarios, I would definitely say no. But also bear in mind, your dust can always be replenished. So if you're looking for a good time, I would definitely recommend not necessarily building this entire line, but find a Pokemon that maybe you enjoyed in the anime, or you enjoy in TCG or in the main series games that is admittedly trash or not the best in Pokemon Go, but build it, run it, see how it goes, have some fun. It's not always about just grinding 100% of the time, running the most meta lines, going for legend as fast as possible. Don't forget to enjoy the journey. If you made it this far in the video though, please leave a comment down below. Let me know how you are doing. How is Masters Premier League going? How is Singles Type Cup going for you? And if nothing else, just stop by and say what's up. But that's gonna be all for me. Thank you so much for stopping by. Remember to enjoy the small things. Peace.